Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Blu-ray Hunter. I'm the Blu-ray Hunter, Jonathan Moody, and got a really fun show for you guys. We're gonna be doing a review of the Entourage movie. So I'm very glad I had this on Blu-ray because apparently it is not available on Max anymore, and so I can also do a review of it on the Blu-ray Hunter reviews. So buckle up and get ready. So I was going around and watching was it Entourage from I think it was from like I want to say the fifth or sixth season I started it. Again, I think it was the fifth. So I went from the fifth to the eighth and went through it pretty quickly actually. And I got it finished and I was done. And it left me going, all right, I kind of wanna watch the movie again. So I picked it up. It hadn't even been like out of the shrink wrap because I've seen this movie in the theater and I've seen it on HBO Max and it used to be on HBO Max. Don't know why they got rid of it. Doesn't make any sense. Especially since Entourage is one of their shows and they made this. I mean, uh, I don't know. Sometimes like streaming stuff just doesn't make any sense why they would get rid of stuff, but and Max especially because Max gets rid of the most random shit. But not my problem. So apparently the idea is that Ari is now a studio head. He now owns well, he's not a studio head. He's a is he a studio head? He's not. He's like not the chairperson because like apparently the idea, I guess, when they ended Entourage, the season finale, they had like a little post credit scene, and it involved Ari getting a job offer. Even though he was in Italy, and they kind of ended it with him going off to Italy with his wife, which I everybody knew that like he would not be able to last a year. So he quit his job as an agent, leaving Barbara and um what is it all the agents all alone. So which is whatever. I guess he really put his wife before his career, which is like sort of the ultimate thing that they wanted to show him do. And so in this movie, he is a what is it? He's now like he runs a studio, and Dana Gordon works with him, of course. Because you can't have Entourage without Constance Zimmer, who's wonderful in it as Dana Gordon. And Mrs. Ari's in it. The the their therapist, Dr. Marcus, is back. I mean, they try to put as many people that you're familiar with into the movie as possible. Like randomly Andrew Dice Clay is in it because he was in the the last season. There's, of course there's Billy, there's Sloane is pregnant because it was like 8 months later. The only thing I didn't like is that freaking apparently Vince was got on the honeymoon and decided to call it quits. That didn't bother me as much as it did just like how quickly all of this just happened, you know? So like, and then you got to deal with like there's Haley Joel Osment and Billy Bob Thornton's characters who I originally did not like. And not like because they were the bad people or whatever. Originally I found a lot of Haley Joel Osment stuff like very slow, like kind of slowed down the movie in my opinion. But when I rewatched it now, I got it. Like it didn't bother me as much. His accent kind of bothered me. It felt really, really fake. But aside from that, like he didn't bother me. Like I mean he was a dick, but he did a good job playing that. Maybe I don't know Haley Joel Osment. That was probably some really damn good acting. But so anyway, and Billy Bob Thornton was great. he did a great accent, but like I think he's actually like from the South or from Texas or whatever, or like at least he feels like he is. He's always really good at that. Like watch Sling Blade and you'll see a really good accent. He doesn't do it like Sling Blade, but he does a really good accent. Um, to go back to Ari, Ari's now like runs a studio, and I'm guessing it's like Warner Brothers, but they never say what studio it is. And he is having problems because he forced Vincent to be the director, which was really weird because they acted like he didn't know how to direct and everything and stuff. And he didn't I don't think he ever like in the whole series he had never said I want to be a director. Like even when he was doing the movie for Johnny, he never said and I want to direct. I don't think he did. I know he said he wanted to write it. So he kind of came up with the idea and the concept, and then Billy rewrote it or wrote it and was going to direct it. I don't know whatever happened to that Minders movie. Then I don't think they ever bring it up in the thing. So I'm guessing because Johnny Bananas failed after like one season, CBS did not make the Minders movie. Because Phil Yagoda did not come back in the movie. So I don't know. It's never talked about, so who knows? There's a lot of stuff that that kind of came in with that, but anywho, so yeah, so there's a lot of this stuff, crazy stuff going on inside the movie. There's a lot of plot. There's a lot of stuff. They kind of it feels like they took like 5 episodes, six episodes, something like that, and just crammed them into one movie and stuff. So maybe they had an idea for like 6 more episodes, and they're like, "Fuck it, let's do a movie instead." Um, so for like a reboot season or something. But it was really well done. All the Johnny like um Turtle's in love with like Ronda Rousey in this movie, which is really weird. Like I don't really he does know who all the UFC fighters is, so it's not too surprising, but it did feel a little out of nowhere that like she's kind of part of the group. And interestingly enough, they have like some special features on this disc, which is great. I think they even have, I don't know if they have commentary. They should have. I wish they did. Um, but they had a making of Hyde, which is the movie that um Vince did. So Vince is a what is it? Vince is apparently directing his first movie. And it goes over budget, and it was they called it long. They said like an hour and 45 minutes or something, and I was like, that's actually pretty short. Like if you said 2 hours and 44 minutes, I would have been like, it's a little long, but an hour and 45, nah. I think that was pretty short. Um, but for especially for a movie like what looked like Hyde, like you see a little bit of it, and I'm like, okay, I can see this sort of becoming. But it did look a little like the scene that they showed looked a little artsy. Um, it involved like these I don't know what happened. Like this DJ was doing some stuff, and then he kind of throws everybody like these pills, and I'm guessing that what turned you into Hyde. I don't know. There's some stuff in there that was just kind of weird, but felt a little artsy. Um, but it was Vince's baby, and apparently Vince did a really good job. And even though it went over budget and everything, and by the end of the movie, apparently Ari lost that job too. Spoilers alert! Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen the movie, I don't know why you're watching my review of it. But yeah, Ari loses that job too, which was a little weird for me to like. I was like, really? He's just like completely fine. Like, I mean, it didn't really even set up that they were gonna do something with him later, you know? They do have a mid-credit sequence, and it's basically what what is it? Lloyd is getting married, so he gets married, and freaking George Takei is the guy marrying them, of course, because it's a Hollywood wedding. And and then at the end they talk about how it kind of like I guess it kind of like finishes it up where they're like, oh, they should make a movie about your life, Vince, and he's like, oh, then maybe they should make it a TV show and stuff. So but it didn't really set where Ari's gonna go or what he's gonna do now that he's fired, and um, like I don't know. It just felt a little weird that it kind of ended like that. Like I was hoping that Ari would keep the job there, but I guess all of those jobs kind of stress him out. Me, I don't know what Ari would be good at. Because agency and being the studio head, there's no way he could not get angry. Um, his wife didn't like that. That was a big part of his character, is that he would always get angry at everything that's going on, but it's not like his fault, it's just like circumstances and other issues. All in all, it was a pretty fun movie. I liked it. It was a good continuation of Entourage. Like they did as much of it as they could to make it feel like Entourage, like the Entourage. So they would do like the credit sequence, which was a little longer. They did all the characters, all kind of a lot of the jokes felt the same. They were laughing at each other on Piers Morgan. They had all the cameos. I mean, it was cameo filled, and I can see why, because like in a normal show, you have a X amount of money that you can spend, and that's it. So you might be able to get like one or two cameos or something. You might be able to get Gary Busey and Jessica Alba, and put them in the movie. But then you do a whole big movie like this, you get so much money. You get like, maybe $5 to $10 million or more, and let me see what the budget was for this, but you can make so much more with that. So let me see what the budget was for this, because I'm kind of I'm sad that they never did anything else. I know they have a Doug Ellen, Kevin Connolly, and Kevin Dillon all have a. Oh, by the way, the funniest scene in all of Entourage involved Kevin Connolly, and he thought he got this one girl pregnant, and he thought he got something else from this other girl, and they were talking, and it just turned out they actually knew each other. They were just not fucking with him, but they were trying to show like how much of a pig he was, because how bad of a person he was, and how not nice he is. Well, like even though he claims to be just such a nice guy, but he did a fucked up thing. But he didn't care. All he cared about was the fact that the girl was not pregnant, and the other girl did not give him a disease. So it was it was a great scene. Um made you wonder about that shit. I mean, it's crazy. Um let's see. It doesn't have that budget. Okay. It says the budget was between 27 million and 39 million, and the box office was 49 million. So 39 million, say give or take, that's like at least $10 million profit, which isn't a lot in Hollywood. Like that wouldn't be a fail, but it wouldn't be a huge success or anything. Most of those TV shows turned movies like Serenity and stuff like that. They don't, and Veronica, Mars, a lot of them don't do it nearly as well in the TV show in the movies, because they were TV shows. So only the fans are going to go see it generally, unless you're just like, I want to see Entourage. But like, if you haven't watched the whole series, you're probably going to be a little bit confused, a little bit. There was a lot of good stuff that was like, oh shit, they put that, that's interesting for a movie that like maybe some people are just walking in on seeing. So anyway, like I said, I really enjoyed it. I thought it felt like a continuation of the movie, just with bigger stars throughout the whole thing. One thing I did not like, and this is so there's a little scene, and I liked it. I liked the fact that Johnny was apparently up for an audition. So he got really nervous and he asked this girl that he was seeing to kind of do like a little sex stuff with her and everything over, Skype or whatever was back then. And she was gonna do it, and then her boyfriend came home. And her boyfriend was played by the same guy who played Turtles. Um, what is it? Turtles friend or something, some family friend who everybody knew, and everything. And he was the one who gave him the how like the restaurant that Turtle was going to open up and everything, which again, I don't think that even got got really talked about. Like they didn't go to that place or anything. So that was weird. Um, but he was gonna do that, and he became like, he became like he got like $5 million or something because of his tequila company going public. Um, I am talking way too long. This was not expected to go this long, so just bear with me. So uh, in Entourage, in the TV show, there was this couple that were gonna like look for a restaurant, a place to put their restaurant and everything like that. All of it, I guess, worked out in the end because, he got enough money, he could do it on his own. Turtle could do it on his own, but nothing was ever said or talked about. And like I said, they didn't talk about this. The same guy played Johnny's like kind of arch nemesis in this movie. And I was like, wait, why? Like, could they not cast anybody else? And why did they bring that guy back as a different person? Like, it made absolutely no sense. It it would be like Billy Bob Thornton playing himself in an episode, and then in the movie he played somebody else. You'd be like, wait, don't you look like that guy that was in that, as I saw before. So like it was a little weird because I saw him. I was like, yeah, isn't that the guy from, especially if you just watched the show again, be catching up. He was literally in like the last couple episodes of the season. So it made no sense. Like it was just weird. And I don't know if he was just a friend of the creators or if he was something else or if they couldn't find anybody else to play that role, so they chose him. It reminded me a lot of the Chuck Liddell stuff with Chuck Liddell trying to track drama down and stuff. So I didn't like that too because it just felt like and with a UFC fighter or whatever, like with Ronda Rousey being in the movie and then her fighting Turtle, that also felt like the Chuck Liddell stuff. So it's just like there was throwbacks to the show that I felt like was just like they ran out of ideas maybe for things. And also, why is everybody always joking on Turtle like love life when I mean he has gotten some of the hottest chicks. Nobody knows why or how, but he gets some of the hottest chicks. And Jamie Lynn Sigler from The Sopranos, and now people are like, how the heck did that happen? But yeah, or the chick that he ends up dating in the I think it was the uh eighth, no, the seventh season. Yeah, because in the eighth season, the final season, that girl Alex you know, um, is out of it, which is so weird. And once again, that was weird. I don't know if she was just booked and she couldn't make it for the show, or they literally just didn't they just wanted him to be single again, which made no sense for the rest of the season, unless like, because all the rest of the season he's just trying to find money for the other job and everything. So it the turtle situation I didn't really like as much. You know, Vince Vince wanting to direct and that's his passion and he's dating Emily Ratajkowski. I think that's how you say her name. Great. All that stuff was fantastic. Everything with Vince, everything with E. and Sloane, and I mean the Sloane situation, that's just normal. Like her and him having on and off again kind of thing. It's just that's just part of Entourage. If you know, if you weren't used to that by now, you haven't watched enough episodes. So yeah, it's just it is what it is. That didn't bother me. The Johnny stuff and the turtle stuff, that was kind of and Ari, man, you know, I really liked him in it, and I liked how he handled the guys from Texas and how he handled John Ellis. And, you know, once again, though, there were throwbacks to things like calling John Ellis to his office was like when he called, um, what's his name, Malcolm McDowell's character Terrence down and everything. So there are things that are very similar. So I don't know. Anywho, I that none of that really bothers me. So it was fun. And all in all, it was a good movie. And hope you guys who watched it agree with me. If you guys didn't, let me know. If you guys weren't fans of the movie, you know, but you were fans of the TV show, tell me why the movie didn't do it for you. I enjoyed it. I mean, I was like, it was just like watching a longer version of the TV show. So it, it made me excited every time I watched it. You know, when I was watching, I was just like, this is exactly what I want to see. So hope you guys enjoyed this and talk to you soon. Bye.